shopping. Imagine, I started contractions right after I came back and was eating.
Wow. For me, that last trimester, in fact, when I was 7 months, I went for overall now shopping. Now for the last shopping, because I was like, babies come from 32 weeks. I want to get ready. I waited, and you know, Mama Mboga, they knew me, so I got to a Mama Mboga. Bado, so I was tired of the question, yeah, bado. Fear pregnancy as much as I fear delivery. It was so scary, and it happened within such a short period of time, and it left me so traumatized. So when you go into, when you're pushing, you're told to lie in a certain position and hold your ankle, but don't raise your head. I think they teach those things earlier. So for me, I didn't know about all that, and it was so painful. And you know, I could feel the baby's head, but it can now not come out. I am your host, Gloria. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Subscribe, like, comment and share. On today's episode, I have an amazing guest, and we will be talking about our pregnancy and delivery story. I'm Gloria.
Hi guys, my name is Gala Njeri.
Yeah, so on talking about pregnancy, how did you find out you were pregnant?
Okay, so
Yeah.
I actually found out I was pregnant when I was 2 months in. So how I found out was I did not have signs. I did not anticipate anything of the sort. So one day I went to town. I was with my partner. We were looking for things in town, and then now when I went to town that day, I was feeling so bad. Normally when I go to public places, I don't feel awkward, but that day I just felt like the atmosphere was really bad. Like I could not sit, I could not stand, I just wanted to go home. So I think that was my very first sign, because after that I told him, with the way I'm feeling, I don't think I'm okay. So now what we are going to do, when we get home, we're going to a chemist. I buy the pregnancy kit and just find out whether I'm pregnant.
Okay, for me, how I found out I was pregnant, that day I went to church, and I was like, I could not stand, I could not sit, I was just tired. I didn't want to worship, I didn't want to praise, and after that I was like, something might be wrong somewhere. I can't be sick right now. I don't think I'm sick. So on my way home, I bought 2 test kits. That day I tested and it was negative. So on my second part now I had too much saliva, and I was always tired. Yeah, so that's when I tested and it was positive. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So what signs did you have of pregnancy? Because they say after you test positive, the symptoms come. Did you have any?
Yeah, so thank God I didn't have the nausea, because I hear a lot of people complain like that's the hardest part of it.
Yeah.
So for me it was more of exhaustion. I was so exhausted all the time, and then personally I hate sleeping during the day because I feel like it drains me of my energy.
Yeah.
So I used to sleep a lot. Like I just had the urge to sleep all the time, and a very strong sense of smell, which I think I've retained it to date. Like I smell things from very far away. So I think those were the three main, because I did not have the cramping, I don't have the nausea. Those were the three main signs that I had.
For me, I luckily I was not also nauseated, but now the heartburns.
Oh,
I had lots of heartburn, and I was also generally tired.
Yes, I had the heartburns as well, especially during my last trimester. It was so bad because I had the medicine, but I couldn't even sleep like a whole night. I used to wake up at least 5 to 10 times during the night.
Sure, guy, how did I even forget that? But you don't sleep peacefully.
Don't. So me, I always had, because you see with Gaviscon you can't take more than 3 times. So imagine having heartburn like 10 times during the night. So I used to rely on cold milk and cold water.
I also drank lots of water. Yeah, and also when your tummy is stretching, I used to feel the pain. Yeah.
Oh, you felt the pain?
Yeah, cause stretch and the being uncomfortable. Yeah, I felt that.
Me, I didn't feel pain per se, but during the first stages when the baby starts kicking, I used to feel pain. Because especially I think on like my pelvic girdle or something. I wasn't feeling on the stomach, it was down.
And then in the third trimester, you are now visiting the washrooms constantly because the baby is on your, it's on your what? Kidney there.
Bladder.
Bladder. On the bladder. Yeah.
Hey, come on, Mimi, because I remember I used to where was I going? The places I used to go, I think to work or something. I'm not sure, but I used to go through town. So I hate going to public toilets, but when you get yourself in that situation, you can't control it. So I always found myself going to this one toilet. I think even the woman like knew me. So I think during the last trimester, you start going for hospital visits every week.
Yeah, sure.
So I think it was that. So every time I come to town, because I had to go to the hospital, I used to visit that one particular toilet. Even that woman knew me. I used to just get to town, drop my bag.
During your last trimester, you visited the whole hospital frequently.
Especially the last month. Yes.
On my last month, even my last clinic, I did not go.
You didn't?
I didn't. I was so tired.
Yeah.
I was so tired. I was just like, maybe the baby will come tomorrow.
Hey, me, for some reason, I was so energetic until the last day. Because even the day that I got my first contractions, this is what happened, because it was on a Saturday. I had, because they tell you to walk, so that you can activate the labor. Yes. So me, I used to walk. You see the way this last month, the last trimester, people send other people for clothes. I was going to Kamukunji, to Isili. I was walking. I used to do walks every single day. So I remember even the day that I got contractions, so that I could give birth 2 days later. I had gone for a walk, and it was like a steep place. And then I knew, because I'm about to go to hospital, because I was to be induced on the 1st. I said, now let me go shop, because see, I'm leaving the help in the house. She won't have food. I even went for shopping. Imagine, I started contractions right after I came back and was eating.
Wow. For me, that last trimester, in fact, when I was 7 months, I went for overall now shopping. Now for the last shopping, because I was like, babies come from 32 weeks. I want to get ready. I waited, and Mama Mboga, they knew me, so I got to a Mama Mboga. Bado, so I was tired of the question, Bado, so I just opted I'll be in my house.
Yeah. And
So I used to go for walks, but late at night. Ndio mtu asinione bado.
Yeah, because everyone looking at you like, but imagine them waiting, but they don't know like how you are feeling because they just want the baby to like come out, and then also having like tuseme kama maybe we had like a group. Because we used to go for these prenatal classes, so we had been clustered in different groups, like the ones who are about to deliver, the ones who are starting their pregnancy. So imagine having most of the moms, those who are like even few weeks behind, because me, I gave birth at 40 weeks and some days. They were all giving birth and leaving you there.
Same story here. My friend who was 1 month behind me gave birth, and I was like, huyo mwingine akizaa tena usiniambie. Don't just tell me you've given birth. So I was just in the house, and my partner was like, umekaka. So it's 40, 41 bado, and he told me, if the baby doesn't come by Saturday, you are going for induction. Saturday came, no baby. I was like, when ngoja, the baby will obviously come by Monday. Monday, no baby. I even called my friend, Aki, nimeambiwa if the baby doesn't come by Monday, I'll go for induction. Niombe, and she was like, you will be fine. So that Monday we went to hospital, and my partner was like, see, ubebe bag. I'm like, no, what if I carry my bag and come back with the bag without the baby? Let me just go. If at all I'll deliver today, you will come back for the bag. So that's how it happened. We went to hospital at around 11. In fact, that day I woke up, cleaned my house, I arranged everything, made sure everything was okay, and then left.
Did you give birth the same day?
The same night. So I went to hospital, I was checked, I was scanned, and then I was told, we will give you that induction tablet. And I was like, usinipatie your tablet, I want to eat first. So I went, ate, and then came back. I was induced. The first induction was at around 5. The induction didn't work. So at 11, I was brought another tablet. So I took the tablet, and then the labor began at around 1 a.m.
Hey, at me, I was induced, by the way. Because on Saturday, when I got the contractions, they usually tell you to wait it out. Especially if the water has not broken, or you don't have the blood. There's a name they call it. So since my water had not broken, I waited for 1 hour. So after 1 hour, I called my partner. I'm like, hey, the pain is not going away, so the baby might be coming today. So I told him, now let's go to hospital. So we went to hospital. And then now when I go to hospital, the doctor checked. And then it was like, you've not started dilating. So they wanted to admit me in hospital and then induce me in the morning. Now I told him, since the doctor had written off tomorrow as the day that I'm supposed to be induced, let me just go back home, prepare myself mentally, and then come back. And then we can begin the induction process. So we started the induction process now on Sunday at 1 p.m.
So after I was induced, and I was with my friend at hospital, my partner was not there. So I tell my friend, nimeanza kusikia labor, and she was like, should I call the nurse? I was like, no, just wait, you'll call her when I'm so much ready. So I labored until 3, and then I told her, now you can call the nurse. No, it was actually 3:30. Yeah, now she went called the nurse. I was measured and the nurse was like 6 centimeter. Huyu anazaa leo, huyu ni wa usiku, hafiki asubuhi. So I was told, Shuka, go make yourself comfortable and you will call us when it perseveres. And the nurses left. I was left with my friend. Immediately I set my foot down from that bed. The baby, they say alishuka immediately, and they say when the baby is coming, you feel like you want to
poop.
Yeah, so I was like, Melvin, I feel like I want to poop, and she called the nurses, and the nurses were like, where panda up, and so that's how I gave birth.
Hey.
Yeah.
Oh God, what happened in my case is now after the induction process, because I got induced at 1 p.m. 1 p.m.
Yeah.
So my labor was very slow even from the induction process.
Yeah.
So now I was with my mom and my sister-in-law and my partner, but now my partner, I think he was very scared, so he was coming, going, leaving the ladies to eat. So they said that I could give birth at around 3, but that's not what happened. So see, when you're given the gel, the induction gel, they tell you have to wait for 8 hours so that the water can break and contractions can, even though you have contractions in between. So my water did not break. So the doctor came. He's like, hey, you've not even started dilating. The water has not even broken. So they had to break the water, and then I started. Now I think I had dilated in the morning. I only dilated for like 2 centimeters. So they normally say that within 1 hour, I think 1 hour, you're supposed to dilate 2 centimeters. So maybe in 2 hours I was dilating 1 centimeter. It was a very slow labor. So I stayed there. So see, they said they had said I would give birth at around 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. I did not. Come the following day, they said, then you'll give birth at around 11 a.m. I did not give birth. So it got to around 2. And now the doctors got concerned because they're like, I was dilating very slowly. I was not having that sensation, even though I had gotten to like 9 centimeters. So the doctor told me we wait it out for like 3 hours. We see if it's going to dilate to 10. I did not dilate to 10 centimeters. So I got to a point, I was so exhausted because they're putting the Synthol, I think it's called Synthol, that medicine that is used to accelerate labor. I had turned dark. I was so exhausted. During that entire time, I was not crying, I was not screaming, but it got to a point that I got so emotional because now I was feeling like my body now can't take it anymore. Mentally, I'm not even there. So I just told the nurse to call the doctor. So now I told the doctor, I don't think I can keep on with this process because I'm gonna go crazy. Just take me for CS. So, it got to a point, everyone was concerned because people are calling, hey, Bado, she came yesterday, Bado. So now everyone got concerned. My mom started praying. Now people started praying. It was such a bad experience.
But I think for me, I had it so easy.
And the worst part was that because the hospital that I was in, there's the maternity ward, but there's also the labor ward. So now everyone who's coming and is laboring, we stay there. So they were coming after me, and giving birth, going. After me, giving birth, going. Hey,
it was so bad. I think they should separate.
Hey.
Because for me, I was in a ward whereby it's me and another lady who had already given birth. Yeah, so I didn't have any experience of any other mothers.
Well, I don't know, because for them now after you've given birth is when now you're taken to the maternity wing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I understand. So now those who think of, I don't fear pregnancy as much as I fear delivery. It was so scary, and it happened within such a short period of time, and it left me so traumatized. So when you pushing, you're told to lie in a certain position and hold your ankle, but don't raise your head. I think they teach those things earlier. So for me, I didn't know about all that, and it was so painful. And you know, I could feel the baby's head, but it can now not come out. Yeah, so it was so scary to me, but luckily the baby came out, and then the baby was put on my chest. Yeah, and that was a moment I felt so relieved, and I prayed. Yeah, I think that is what happened for vaginal birth. Yeah.
I think you see, this time that I was pregnant, because I was preparing myself for all possibilities. So one, I had in mind, because this is what people say, which I think I have come to believe, that when if your mom went through CS, more likely you'll go through CS, because my mom bore the two of us through CS. So I knew there's a possibility. But I had like gone to YouTube and looked at like positions for pushing, and then the hospital I went to, God bless those people, because now they were teaching us now all these things.
Wow.
Yes, how to push, lames, dances, exercises. They were teaching us all that.
Yeah.
So now let's go back to the story. So when I requested for the CS to be done, it took time, because they had to call the surgeon, prep the theater.
Yeah.
I had gotten to a point, because you see, I had like 2 bags of Synthol. You see that medicine that they say makes people crazy? I had 2 bottles. So the pain was so unimaginable. And then for me, I had like walked in the hospital just expecting the baby ashuke. And then for me, I felt like when nikilala, I was feeling so much pain. And then if I stand, so much pain as well. But if I sit down, I could manage, because they had given me the bouncing ball, the bathing ball. I couldn't use it. I was feeling so much pain. So I just opted to sit down, because like if I sleep, I can't bear it. If I stand, I can't.
Yeah.
So I opted to sit down. Kwanza mimi, there's something ilikuwa inanibo. Now you can imagine me going through this, and I understand it is their duty, but imagine going through all this pain and then someone is bringing you food. I'm like, why are you bringing me food?
So that you can get the energy to push.
But where was even the energy to eat? Because of the pain that I was feeling. No. Let me experience what I'm experiencing.
Yeah.
So now, when they called now the surgeon, I was taken into the room. So I had gone through so much pain that even when they were injecting me in the back, I was not feeling anything.
Right.
I was that numb to pain. So in the CS, you can't feel anything. Sasa si after umekufa ganzi, you can't feel anything. You just feel like kuna kitu tu inaendelea kwa tumbo, but there's nothing, where you don't know what's happening, because see, they put that thing there. So now what happened, I was actually dozing off during the procedure. So a certain anesthesiologist or something noticed that I was dozing off, so akakuja kunipea story. So we talked. So came to the point where sasa they were supposed to pull out the baby. I think my baby was so big, they had to pull out, 3 people pulled out that baby.
What?
There were 2, they failed, so they called another person. So now the surgeon started saying, I am so glad you went through this CS, juu mtoto wako hakuwa hata ameshuka.
Wow.
So you could have continued through that process for another, let's say 5-6 hours.
I think what mothers should know, the end goal of giving birth is a healthy baby and a healthy mother. It doesn't matter which way you give birth. Yeah. So for me now, after the giving birth, now the nurse was like, let's check if you have a tear. And now sasa happened, things went south. So the nurse checked, and she was like, let me call a certain nurse akushone. So they called the nurse. The nurse came akanishona, and then she reached a certain point, and she was like, this cut is too deep here. Let me call someone else who will finish. And I was like, okay. The second person came and the pain was unbearable. I screamed. Yeah, so
wakikushona ama you feel it?
Okay, they put the anesthesia, but it's not the full one. It's not the general one. So it's just on that part, so you feel it.
Okay.
So it was so painful. I was like, no, I can't bear the pain. And they were like, wacha tupige watu wa main branch watu tumie ana huyo hawa watu anesthesia. And I was like, fine, wakawa pigia. And they were like, oh, we don't have an ambulance right now. The ambulance imeenda somewhere else. So the anesthesiologist has to use an Uber. And they were like, sawa. I waited. So how my doctors and nurses wakanibembeleza, let us try tukushone usisiende theater. I was like, no, it was now around 5. I can't bear the pain. Wakanibembeleza. I was like, fine, mjaribu. So wakakanishika. It was so painful. I could not bear the pain. Mimi nikamwambia, I can't do it anymore. Nitangoja huyo mtu anesthesia. It was 6. They called him. He came in at 7. Now
So
I went to the theater. Yeah. So in the theater, now it's when everything happened. Now I went. Now I was allowed to go to just sleep and rest. So when I wake up, there was so much pain. I couldn't even walk. And remember, after the reconstruction, there is a certain kitu car ball. They make it in a car ball and they put it for you down there so that they still maintain how the place looks like. Yeah, it was so painful. Yeah, that was it now.
Hey.
Yeah, I was out of theater, and when I was recovering from the medicine, I had someone say, he afadhali tu ni za SCS.
Wallahi.
But I was, and then now the recovery part was so hectic.
Because now how do you go to the toilet?
It was painful.
And pooping. Oh my
Pooping
God.
was so painful. In fact, I'm lawyer, but I didn't take ugali for 1 month. I was just like, I don't want to struggle. Yeah.
Hey.
I could not sit breastfeeding. I could not just sit. Yeah.
And the way even going to the toilet after giving birth, like the constipation.
We didn't talk about constipation on the other video.
Constipation is
you scream in the toilet. I used to scream.
Damn.
Yeah.
Hey, me kwanza, you see, because see, they usually say you can't strain after CS.
Yeah.
Because the wound will open up.
Yeah.
So they used to give us some drugs to help with the toilet.
Yeah.
So sometime I was doing research and they said that the first poop after CS is hell. So now me, when I went to the loo the first time, I was expecting hell, but it wasn't hell because I think because of the drugs. So I was like, what is this constipation that people talk about?
Yeah.
But now they told me to take the medicine for only 5 days. So they had said, when you get to a point when you see your diarrhea, leave the medicine alone. So I left the medicine. Hey, my friend. Wait. I started constipating. And then me now after CS during my 2-week review, I had gotten inflammations on both sides of the wound.
Wow.
So I went for to treat the inflammations, and now I told the doctor the kind of constipation that I'm experiencing. Please, 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 give me more medicine.
Give me.
So I went and bought medicine again.
Yeah.
So that helped. But now he told me you cannot rely on medicine alone. So now you have to start
Drinking water.
a lot of water,
Yeah.
and also you have to check on your meals.
Yeah, sure.
Take a lot of fiber, roughage, vitu ka hizo. So now that's what I did. Because me, I remember there's a day I went to the loo. Sijai scream hivyo.
Okay. For me now on my 2 weeks review, I found out that my uterus was infected. Yeah, so I was given other medication, but everything was just going south. About the wound. Yeah.
Man, that's so scary.
Yeah, it is so scary in that inafikanga place unajiogopa. You don't even want to wake up. Hautaki asubuhi ifike. You are just happy in the other world. Ya kulala tu. Yeah, and then when guests come around, you have to sit with them, and sometimes you have secretions that are not, you smell because of the wound now.
Yeah, the infection.
Yeah, it was so bad. Yeah.
Mira, sometimes they say for people who don't know, I think because now me have been through this experience.
Yeah.
Once someone gives birth, give them some time. Give them like a month or 2.
Yeah, sure.
Before you can just go visit them.
Okay, for me, I allowed only people who I could show my nakedness. Yeah, like people, if you could see me at my worst, if you're that friend, I allow you. But kama had to juani hivyo, wait.
Hey, I think for CS, the process itself, because you don't feel anything.
Yeah.
With CS, the hardest part about it is the recovery.
Sure,
It's
that's what
hell.
they say.
It's hell. Oh my God. Kwanza me remember there's a time I didn't take medicine. Because I you see, I left hospital with like a bag full of medicine. Because you see, when now I was in hospital, now I used to have medicine put through my hand.
Yeah.
So if they stay for like 6 hours, I don't have that medicine. You see, there's this kibeli ring. I don't know what
sure.
I was just pressing. Please come give me painkillers.
Sure.
But me, my doctor had told me, if you want to heal faster, instead of lying around and sleeping all day, walk.
You know, that's what I realized, but I noticed it later. Yeah.
So me, I had been told. So me, even when I was in hospital, I was going for walks, like from one wing to the other. So now even when I came home, I was walking, not sleeping the whole day, sitting down, just being active. So I think that is what accelerated my healing process. Because I remember I went to a shop one day, and then the woman was like, "Did you not give birth last week? Why are you still like you're walking?" I'm like, "Yes." She's like, "Mimi, imagine I stayed in bed for 2 months, but now the doctor had told me, if you want to heal faster, be active."
Yeah, I think that's what women out there should be.
Know.
Yeah, if you want to heal faster, walk. You know, I never used to walk from bed to the sitting room, bedroom. Yeah, but now when I started walking, I didn't even notice when I healed. One day I just woke up and I was like, I don't feel the pain anymore. Yeah.
Hey, coming to think of it, so from like what you experienced, were you like so afraid to like have sex after that whole experience?
I was so scared. You know, I think the first time we were intimate is like 4 months later. Yeah, but bado ilikuwa like testing the waters. It was not like we have released ourselves. It's so traumatizing.
It is traumatizing.
Yeah.
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Guy, me with my CS, I think the whole process of childbirth traumatizes a woman so much.
Yeah.
And then kwanza the testing. The testing
What?
that the doctors do to see if you've dilated.
When they tell you lie down, you're like, not again.
And then they have to keep doing it after some hours. That thing is so uncomfortable.
And now now that you went through labor and still went through the recovery of CS, how was it?
The recovery.
Yeah.
The recovery for me was hard, but now the good thing about it was my mom had gone through CS before, so she knew like the healing process, the kind of foods I should take. So my mom took really good care of me. But now the problem was after the procedure, I couldn't like get myself out of bed. I couldn't wake up to hold my baby. So now it was someone to be there. Bring the baby to me, help me make the baby sleep. So I required a lot of help. And then me now after giving birth, I think all the water that was in my body dropped to my feet. So my feet were so swollen.
After?
They were like double the size of my feet right now. I couldn't even wear like normal slippers. I only wore Crocs. And they were swollen for like I think 2 weeks. So now my mom is the one who actually told us now what you're going to do, because they had told me to give it a week. So now when we saw it was not going down, now we used to like put water in a bucket. And most women don't know this hack, so this is a hack. You put water in a bucket with salt, then let someone take like a kitamba, put it in water, and then just place it hivi afinye kwa mguu yako. I did that, and for 2 days my feet were back to normal. Na zilikuwa zimefura for 2 whole weeks.
Because swollen feet zinakwanga before birth.
Mine were
but
before
now
and after.
Yours became after.
And kwanza ya after, it was so bad. So I'm telling you, I couldn't wear regular slippers.
What?
It was so bad. Nilikuwa na kamsi yako na elephantiasis.
And now, how did you take care of the baby? Like, how did you bond now that the nurses and the doctors insist on bonding with the baby?
You see, me, even my biggest fear was not being able to bond with the baby, because you see, during this time you're also focusing on just healing and letting yourself feel better. So I don't think I bonded with my baby well, especially during the first 3 weeks after the procedure, because it was just a lot. Once I may remember, because of the sleepless nights, and then I had help, but I couldn't let anyone handle the baby if it was not my mom.
I get it.
So I started, I felt like I was going to go crazy, because I was handling the baby alone during the day, during the night. So it got to a point, even my mom told me, no, you're going to start having blood pressure. You cannot let yourself do all these things. And I think this is just like an encouragement to moms. It's okay to let someone help. You cannot do everything alone. So during sasa when I realized that, now is when I started letting other people now handle the baby. So it gave me time to sleep kidogo. It gave my body time to heal. But sasa hizo the first 3 weeks, especially because of the recovery process, it's so hard because other people are the ones who handle your baby more than you. So I think you start bonding after. But I think a mother's bond with the baby is so strong. Hata kama you're not that much active, I think the baby just knows you're the mom.
Where I struggled, I was bonding with my baby while going through pain at the same time. Remember I told you I couldn't sit. Now I used to breastfeed my baby while lying down. Nikitaka kumbeba, I had to sit in a certain position, which involved leaning one of my hand and using my hand as the pivot. Now after I recovered, this part here was so painful, red, because of doing the work it's not meant to do.
I think during recovery, the other thing also Nelly I experienced during recovery, there are positions after the surgery you can't sleep in. Like you can't sleep on your back, you can't sleep on your tummy. So you see, even during pregnancy, it's always side to side, side to side.
Sure.
It's also the same.
But I think after you are just used to side, and then your breasts are so full of milk, you can't sit, you can't sleep forward.
Yes.
Yeah, it's such a tough period.
And ukilala na mgongo, I think the back pains.
Yeah, sure.
So it becomes hard as well.
Okay, I think we are done with the story. Yeah. Okay, guys, that was it for today. Thank you for watching.